First, INST1A. This is the public IP. As mine is a Linux machine, I'm using this command. If you're using Windows machine, you'll have to use putty, and in the host name you'll have to mention this IP address, and then in the user you have to mention EC2-user. So I was able to log into this EC2 instance from my machine through internet because this EC2 instance has been launched in a public subnet which has internet connectivity. Let me try to do the same with INST1B, which is in private subnet, but it has a public IP. Let me grab the IP address, paste it here and press enter. If you see some time has passed, I'm not able to log in. The reason is this EC2 instance is in a private subnet. There's no internet connectivity. So I'm trying to log into this instance from my machine using internet, but I can't because this is in a private subnet. Even though I have public IP for this EC2 instance, I cannot log into this instance because it has been launched in a private subnet which does not have any link to internet or which does not have any route to the internet gateway. What about INST1C? INST1C has also been launched in a private subnet and there is no public IP address. So we cannot anyway log into this because we do not have any public IP address. Let me launch another instance in the public subnet, my VPC subnet 1A, and try to connect to it. This time I'll use a different setting while launching the EC2 instance. I have selected my VPC and my VPC subnet 1A, which is a public subnet, but this time auto assign public IP is disabled. So let me go ahead and launch this instance. This instance has a different scenario. Even though I have launched this EC2 instance in a public subnet, I should be able to connect to this or SSH into it from my machine, but I can't because it does not have any public IP. While launching, I disabled the auto assign public IP, so I did not get any public IP. So if I do not have an IP address, how do I launch to this EC2 instance? I cannot use private IP because this is within the LAN or within VPC. So now how do I log into this EC2 instance? Well, we'll have to attach an elastic IP. Let us go ahead and do it. This elastic IP has been allocated. Now I'll attach this elastic IP or associate this elastic IP with the second instance which I have launched. After associating the elastic IP address, I've got a public IP. So I should be able to log into this EC2 instance or SSH into it using this public IP, as this EC2 instance has been launched in a public subnet. So I'm using the same command and I'm using the elastic IP address. I should be able to log into this EC2 instance. So I was able to log into this EC2 instance using the elastic IP. So what we have learned so far, we created a VPC. The name of the VPC was my VPC. We created an internet gateway and attached this internet gateway to the VPC which we just created. And then we created three subnets, subnet 1A, subnet 1B and subnet 1C. Subnet 1A's network address is 24.8.10/24, subnet 1B's network address is 24.8.20/24, and subnet 1C's network address is 24.8.30/24. Now the requirement was to make this subnet as a public subnet. So that means we need to have a link between this subnet and the internet gateway. So for that we created a route table. The name of the route table was my VPC public RT, and we added a route here. We linked this route table with an internet gateway and associated this route table with the subnet 1A. So the moment the association was done, this subnet became a public subnet because it got a link to internet gateway using this route. We created another route table, my VPC private RT, but we did not create any link with the internet gateway, and we associated this route table with two subnets, subnet 1B and subnet 1C. So, as there is no link with the internet gateway, these two subnets are private subnets. Then we launched multiple EC2 instances in our VPC and in all the subnets. So in configure instance details, we selected our VPC and then we mentioned subnets. There's one more option which is called auto assign public IP. If you enable this one, then AWS will give you public IP for your EC2 instance. If you disable it, then you will not get any public IP address. You'll have to create an elastic IP address and then associate that elastic IP with your EC2 instance. Now, associating elastic IP with instances in private subnet will not make any sense because you cannot log into this EC2 instance, or you cannot SSH into it. The reason being, it is not connected to internet. We launched this EC2 instance and we enabled auto assign public IP. Even though we got a public IP, we could not log into it. As I said, it is not connected to internet. Then we launched another EC2 instance in the public subnet. This time we did not assign public IP automatically. So what we had to do is, when the instance was launched, it did not have any public IP. So we had to create an elastic IP and associate that elastic IP with this EC2 instance. After that, we were able to log into this EC2 instance because it was launched in the public subnet. I hope all the concepts have been cleared as far as VPC and subnets are concerned.